Bhava Khalu Bhagavan Tava Vibhava Khalu Bhagavan Jagadudaya Sthiti Layadini Jagadudaya Sthiti Layadini Vishwasijaste Misham Misam Sas Vishwasijaste Misham Swasam Sas Tatra Mrishas Pardhanti Prithag Avimataya Matya Tatra Mrishas Pardhanti Prithag Avimatya Tava Vibhava Khalu Bhagavan Jagadudaya Sthiti Layadini Vishwasrijaste Sham Sam Sas Tatra Mrishas Pradhanti Pritag Avimatya Tava Vibhava Khalu Bhagavan Jagarudaya Sthiti Layadini Vishwasijaste Sham Sas Tatra Mrishas Pardhanti Prithag Avimatya Maharajis. Tava, your Vibhava, opulences, Khalu, indeed, Bhagavan, O Supreme Personality of Godhead. You all are like, need to wake up a little bit. Okay. Speak up. Jagat of the cosmic manifestation. Udaya, the creation. Sthiti, maintenance. Layadini, dissolution, and so on. Vishwasijaha, the creators of the manifested world. They, Amsha, parts of your planetary portion. Tatra, in that. Mrisha, in vain. Spardanti, rival one another. Prithak, of separatedness. Avhimatya, by a false conception. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. Their consciousness of themselves as separated lords is therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. Purport: a devotee who has fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord knows very well that the creative energy of the living entities from Lord Brahma down to the small ant exists because the living entities are part and parcel of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita 15:7, the Lord says, Mamayavamsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. The living entities are nothing but very small portion of the Supreme Spirit, like sparks of a fire. Because they are part of the Supreme, they have a creative quality in a very minute quantity. The so-called scientists of the modern scientific materialistic world are proud because they have created material facilities like great airplanes, but the credit for creating the airplanes should not go to the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, should go to the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, not to the scientists who have invented or created the so-called wonderful products. The first consideration is the intelligence of the scientist. One must be elevated by the dictation of the Supreme Lord, who says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Mata smiti jnanam apohanam cha. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Because the Supreme Lord, as Super Soul, sits within the core of every living entity's heart, the dictation by which one advances in scientific knowledge or creative faculties come from Him. Furthermore, the ingredients to manufacture wonderful machines like airplanes are also supplied by the Lord, not by the scientist. Before the airplanes was created, its ingredients already existed, having been caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when the manifested creation of the airplane is ruined, the remaining debris is a problem for the so-called creators. Another example is that the West is creating many automobiles. The ingredients for these cars are supplied, of course, by the Supreme Lord. And the intelligence for the so-called creation is also supplied by the Lord. Ultimately, when the cars are demolished, the so-called creators are faced with the problem of what to do with their ingredients. The actual creator, the original creator, is the personality of Godhead. Only in the interim does someone create something with intelligence supplied by the Lord, and later the creation again becomes a problem. Therefore, the so-called creator is not to be credited with the act of creation. The only credit goes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is rightly stated herein that the credit for all the opulences of creation, maintenance and annihilation belongs to the Supreme Lord, not to the living entities. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saradeve Gauravane Pracharini Vishwashrindavadi Vishwashrindavadi. So first of all, these are the instruction of by Narad Muni. Very nice instructions that Srila Prabhupada further explains in the purport to the translation of this verse, that basically that Krishna is the creator of everything and maintainer of everything. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, they are the Lord Brahma who creates, and Lord Shiva annihilates, and Lord Vishnu maintains. Actually, Krishna is everything. He is the creator, he is the maintainer. He even creates Shiva and Brahma, and he maintains them. But to manage the universe, there is a system. But ultimately, even Brahma knows that Krishna is the creator of everything. So that's why Prabhupada explains in the purport that Mamaiva Sa Jiva Loke, that all the living entities, conditioned soul, are his eternal part and parcel. We are not separated from him. We are his part and parcel. We think we are separated from Bhagavan, but we are his part and parcel. What makes us think that I am the creator, I am the enjoyer, is the illusory potency of Maya. Mataha smritir jnanam apanam cha. And it is further explained by Prabhupada in this purport, that even our intelligence, forgetfulness, apohanam cha, is we forget. We can't remember what we did before and what we will day before or before that, because you're forgetting. Especially as you get older, we forget more and more. So Krishna, Hridasya Arjuna Tishtade, Krishna is sitting in our heart. The Prabhu the other day was explaining that like a Shutragani Manaiva, Krishna says, we are like a garland. We make, the Maharaji, they make the garland is strung in a thread. Each flowers, each neck beads are strung in a thread. So similarly, Krishna explains, the living entities, we, everyone, all the living entities are dependent on Krishna. So if you pull the string out, and all the flower will fall to the ground, and all the beads will fall to the ground. So we are dependent on the Supreme Lord for everything. Never a second think to ourselves that I am the creator, I am the enjoyer. That's why here it says, Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you. This is the instruction by Narad Muni, and he says it. Their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. We have the tendency to think, I am this, I am that. In every moment, we are always thinking, I am such a great kirtan leader. I am leading, I am playing the drum, I am speaking, I did this cooking. We're pretty much enamored by our self. And we like to, tell others, oh, I'm so good, I'm good. But it is mentioned here. We are not anything. Krishna is everything. By Krishna's mercy, we are able to breathe. By Krishna's mercy, we are able to move our body. Our body is functioning because by His mercy, because He's sitting in our heart. Because the soul, the spirit soul, dependent on the super soul. He's the powerhouse of all the energy. Maya dakshana prakriti shuyate characharam. Characharam. Like a cowherd boy, he herds the cows, round them up together, bring them home, put them in the Goshala. There, the characharam. He's taking care of the cows. So similarly, Krishna explains, characharam. Maya dakshana prakriti shuyate characharam. We are being controlled by Maya. And yet we think, I am the creator. That is the problem. As soon as you think you are the creator, that's the problem. A devotee thinks that I am not the creator, I am not anything. We are totally dependent on Krishna. That is a great thing. That's a good thing to depend. People say, don't tell me, I don't want to depend on you, anybody. I have my own life. I work, my own money, my own everything. We, devotees, we like to depend on Krishna. It's a good thing. Like a kitten, cat. The children, infants, babies, they have no independence at all. They're totally dependent on the parents. Isn't it? Small kitten, mother cat will carry in their mouth. So we are totally dependent on the Supreme Lord. Krishna is. So Krishna is dictating our life. And we like it. We want to be under the shelter of Krishna. We want to be under shelter of the Guru. That's a good thing. As soon as you think, I don't need it anymore, and you leave the home, I can do it on my own, then the problem comes. You see in the street, sometimes people talking to themselves, walking around, they're not dressed properly, all matted hair, didn't take a bath. These people, they left home. They're living in the street. If they want, they can have a job, they can live in a home, they can live a better life, clean life. But they prefer to be like that, drug addicts. Fully just not aware. So we have to discipline ourselves. Just like we have a family. It's a big responsibility. But yet at the same time, you making an effort to serve Krishna because you know you want to be under the shelter of Krishna. You want Krishna to recognize you. You want Krishna to see you. You want the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada to see you. Or this Prabhu, this is my disciple. He's so nice, serving me. That's what Radharani is doing. He's checking it out. The gopis, other gopis, bringing them to the feet of Krishna. She's not thinking, I'm the consort of Krishna, I'm having a good life here. She's thinking how I can engage all this suffering, living entities at the feet of Krishna, Radha Balva, Madhava, Radha Madhava. It's a very hard job to stand there all day. Every day. We are having this, that, going here, there. Radharani and Krishna always there for us. They're not dictating, you are my servant, come here, come to Mangalarati. He didn't come and knock on your door. We have to make the effort to serve Him. Blessings are always there. So, this is the mentality of a devotee. We think that we want to put ourselves under the shelter of Krishna. It's a very pleasurable thing to be under the shelter of Krishna. Like a servant and a master. I'm a servant, I'm suffering. No. If you are a servant of a king, you're almost like a king. You have the same food as the king. You live in the palace. Prabhupada explains that the servant of the king, servant of Krishna, servant of Prabhupada. It's very amazing. I remember I wrote to someone who's not a devotee when I was living in China. By mistake, at the end of the letter, I said, your servant. If you're a business person or something, you don't write your servant. You say, sincerely, so and so. Signed. So I wrote your servant of Das. So next time I met that person, they said, by the way, you wrote servant. You're not my servant. You're my friend. Nobody likes to hear this word servant. Prabhupada used to write, I'm an insignificant servant of your guru, of my spiritual master. Right? I used to write, you're insignificant ant, like it's mentioned here. Insignificant worm. So somebody said to me, don't write it like that, because you'll be like a worm. You said it so many times. It's better to say Hare Krishna. It doesn't mean literally you will be that, but that's the attitude we take when you serve Krishna. There's an attitude, spiritual attitude. Tad vidhi pranipasnena paripasnena shevaya. Shevaya. I'm from Bengal, and whenever we came to Mayapur, we saw Shevaya means Prasadam. We didn't know Shevaya means service. Clean the temple room and cook, clean, and do all the humble service. But I thought Sheva means eating. But means Tadvidi Paripasana Shevaya. Shevaya means service. Humble approach to the spiritual master. So Krishna is great. He's universal. That's why he showed the universal form. He's very great. When you see the ocean, the side of the ocean, if you stand in the side of the ocean, we're like an ant. Huge, vast body of water. We are so small. Prabhupada gave his example. He was telling Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He said, there's this big universe, and this universe is run by Brahma. Brahma has 4 heads. And there's many Brahmas. They have 1,000 heads. Our Brahma has 4 heads. And inside this universe, there is this planet. And inside this planet, we have this America, this continent. And this continent, America, there is this city, Los Angeles. And this Los Angeles city, there is Hare Krishna temple, Vatsaka Avenue. And we have one president, his name is Tamal Krishna Goswami. And he's thinking, I am the manager of this temple. Universe, Brahma, and other Brahmas. We think we are so, wow. We are like ant. Imagine if you were in an airplane and looking down, you see everybody like an ant. You see a car, an ant. He is truck, like an ant. So demigods look down on us, saying this is like an ant. When an ant sees us, he says, wow, mountain. So actually we are very tiny, minute, insignificant ant. That's what we are. He's going to say, oh, you're just putting us down all the time. You're thinking we're just an ant. We're so insignificant. I'm the manager of this company. Like this Mataji Queen, yeah. 96 years old. And there, I just saw in the Facebook, there is a tree in Mexico that lived for 3,000 years. And all the people under the tree, they look this side like an ant. So, 96 years old. Oh. All your belonging, your crown, made out of diamond, gold, all has to go. Your bank balance, your land. That's the reality. They're having a parade, and somebody had a sign saying, "You are not my king." You know what that means? People realize Krishna is the real king. We are not the king. When there's a problem in this world, we don't know how to solve it. Isn't it? We think, Prabhupada is mentioning here airplane. I love airplanes. Sometimes I have dreams. I wrote a story in the Facebook. I'm flying. I didn't need not an airplane. I can fly. Before I used to have dream all the time, fly. So I talked to an astrologer. They said you were a yogi in your last life. That's why you're flying. Anyway, I flew from Australia to Mayapur. You tuck your feet out and landed in a Gurukul. They're having a program. And they all said, let's Prabhupada's coming down. All in the dream. And then on the way back, I stopped in the Middle East. And then I stopped at a date tree. They're very famous for dates. I love dates. The big, big dates. I picked up dates. I was flying and eating dates. I woke up with just a dream. I have lots of dreams. And, devotees are very special. So this airplane, big airplane, they carry tanks in it. They're delivering in Europe. Tanks inside the airplane. There's a story in the Krishna book. There's a demon named Shalva. You heard of it? He made an airplane, very mystical airplane. It has a city in it. He wanted to kill Krishna. Big city inside the airplane. Football field, swimming pool, lake. We create one airplane and there's always an accident. Everybody's dead, including the driver, the pilot. Prabhupada said Krishna created mosquitoes. Mosquitoes never have an accident. Never such a thing. They're always sometimes they have an airplane show. Everybody's sitting, and then suddenly 2 airplanes. Everybody's shocked. Big news. We never hear an ant crashing, or mosquitoes, or a fly, or birds. You see so many pigeons here, they're flying. They don't fly because they ate too much. Drowsy from all the sugar and prasadam. You don't have to be anything in this temple. To be Krishna conscious, you can be a pigeon. Just eat all day. Simple. It's very hard to clean this temple because there's so much prasadam everywhere. I went to one temple in South India. The ground was sticky because of sugar. Because they offered Nishingadev gore water. In India, they don't think of, there's too much diversion. They just pour buckets of gore water inside Lord Nishingadev's mouth. So there's sugar water everywhere. How sticky. So all you have to be is just be here, part of the family. And if you think you cannot be Krishna conscious, you can take birth as a pigeon here. And just eat all day. You love prasadam, okay. I don't have time to go to the Bhagavatam class. I don't have time to chant my rounds, but prasadam, yes. Okay, take birth as a pigeon. You can eat all day. So, we have to understand that Krishna is the enjoyer. He is the creator. Krishna is the creator. Somebody may say, if Krishna is the creator, why did he create all the suffering? I've heard people say it. Why did he create suffering in the world if he is God and he is the controller, he is the maintainer? Why did he create suffering? They challenge you. I've heard people say it all the time. They challenge you. You Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, you so much Krishna, Krishna, Krishna all the time. Why did he make suffering in the world? Why there's hunger and floods and earthquakes and tornado, on and on, so much suffering these days. And COVID. And Krishna didn't create that. If you just look back, only 100 years ago, or even less than that. Anyone from India, you can drink water from Jamuna and the Ganges, or any small creek. I remember the first time when they bought the bottled water. Isn't it? Bottled water, wow, bottled water. You could drink water. We made the river dirty. We created the pollution. In India, before the colonial time, they had bullock carts. They had horse carts. People singing about Krishna and they go in the bullock cart. They're not in a hurry. They have all the time. They're not brushing their teeth while they're driving. The gopis in Vrindavan are combing while they're driving. They're not in a hurry because they are absorbed in Krishna. They take all their pleasure in serving Krishna. I remember I lived in Vrindavan for 5 years in the Gurukul. You can never sleep because all night they're singing. The cowherd men and women, they're all night. They're singing somewhere in the field, Radhe, like this. And the peacocks, those that hell are peacocks. All peacocks had to go all the way to the Govardhan Hill because too many buildings. And in Calcutta, they had these horses, horse carts. So the horse were passing horse dung, like cow dung. So they said, oh, it is too much. This is horse dung. It's creating problems, cleaning up, and this is a mess. So they bought the motor, like Prabhupada mentioned here, cars, motor cars, automobiles. Prabhupada always uses the word automobiles. Nobody uses much. We say cars. So they said, oh, let's bring in the cars. Now they have pollution. How do you clean pollution? It's easy to clean cow dung. Plus, with the cow dung, you can make chapati, like from the fire. And the chapatis are so tasty. Cow dung. In Vrindavan, there's some cow dung. You can't clean pollution easily. Delhi, so much pollution. This wearing mask is not a new thing. They were wearing pollution before. There's a mask, they had to wear a mask from this pollution. I lived in China for 10 years. Red alert from pollution, Beijing. Everybody had to stay inside. So we created pollution, we created airplanes. Fine, you can travel. But then you're on your own, you're risking your life. There can be accidents. A few years ago, the Malaysian airline, they still couldn't find the pieces. They don't know where it went. Somewhere in the sea, nobody knows. All people in there. Every time you go to India, every time you go somewhere, you don't know. You're risking. I chant Nishingadev like anything the whole time. And some people go up there, they're having good food. They sit in the toilet for a long time, reading a newspaper. They think they're having a good time. This is all suffering. Isn't it? It's not like when you come in the temple room. It's so wonderful here. We think we need to have a really good car, a really good house. You can have all these things. But remember, Krishna is everything in the life of a devotee. In a moment, everything can be taken away. A fraction of a second, gone. How long does it take an earthquake to smash a building? Not even a minute. Whole cities flatten. So powerful, Mother Nature. Doesn't matter who you are. Queen or a king, millionaire, it doesn't make any difference. A tsunami comes, everybody is finished. You build a big house, live somewhere, you work all your life for it, it's gone in a second. But we as a devotee, we have to remember, Krishna is our protector. Krishna is our everything. We're never in fear. Abhaya Charana Ravinda. Prabhupada's name is Abhaya. AC, Abhaya Charana. AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Abhaya, fearless. You can write as many times you like, fearless on your t-shirt. Doesn't mean your fear is gone. Big fear, oh, I'm fearless, with big tattoo. And the tsunami comes, oh my God. We don't have a place to hide. Krishna is our only shelter. We can take shelter of Krishna. We can take shelter of the holy name. We can take shelter of the Harinam, association. Take shelter of Prabhupada. So there is so much we can take shelter of that there is no problem. There's no problem in the world. We created the problem. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Krishna's creation is perfect and complete. We messed it up. There was one great sage. He also created an airplane. Not an airplane, a palace, a flying palace. What's his name? That for his wife? Kardama Muni. For his wife only. Every wife would want their husband to have a big palace, flying palace. That'd be fantastic. You come to Mangalartha and your palace, flying. You park it, there's no room to park. You keep it in the air. Somewhere in the air. No pollution. It's all transcendental. Flower airplane. Pushpa Biman. You can ride on a flower. I can't imagine that. The devotees, they bring in the morning flower to smell. I only smell your hand, not the flower. Because you put perfume on your hand. Flower doesn't have any smell. They're growing with chemical. But Krishna's mercy is there. We are very proud of the modern technology. Oh, computer. I remember when I grew up in India, and they booked my plane ticket. So they messed it up. So I went to the travel agent with Govinda Maharaj. He was a brahmachari then, my friend. So he took me to the travel agent. And he was very angry. I wasn't so angry. So he jumped over the counter and he says, I will deal with the computer. So he found out what the problem was. And he helped me, not the counter person. I was thinking, wow, he can type the keyboard and it's so amazing. I think, I want to learn that. You know, I can see the screen, all the color, and I said, wow, amazing. And the first time I saw this computer at that time, wasn't so good. It's just like a big box. Now they have a flattened one, like, you know, really good. You can get everything on your phone. So I really wanted to learn how to type. This is way in the 80s. So I asked the temple president in Calcutta, I want to learn how to type. And they go, talk, 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 very loud. Only in the office. So they sent me to the school, St. Xavier's typing school, Calcutta. So I was learning type, and then they go, talk, talk, talk. And I got ink all over my hand, and it was all messy on my kurta. I didn't know how to control it. And so they have this computer now. So I went to the TAFE in Sydney, way in the 90s. Best student in the class. No time, I learned the technique. Close eyes, I can spell my name. So they're giving everybody credit. How fast you can type. Like, what's the speed? I was so speed. No worries. Back straight, everything. So I thought this is advancement. I thought if they told me to sit straight, your back, look at the deity, chant your rounds. But they say sit straight on your chair. They even have special chair to sit on the chair to type, so you don't get a backache. They even have a screen. You put a special screen so your eyes are protected. So everything they make is destructive to your body. You all day, and then you have pain in your arm. And it goes down your arm all to your neck. Sore neck. So many people used to come to me, Prabhu, people, they had problem in the neck. I told them, what do you do? And they said, they're working on computer all day. They have vision problem. I said, that's why. So I had to give them a yoga lesson. All day they're sitting. And then they tell you every half an hour you need to do exercise, get up, look long distance. So everything the material world are designed for, the technology is simply destructive for your body. But they think they're very advanced. Okay, before you got in a bullock cart, this is really slow. But there's no hurry. People are not in a hurry. Okay, you want to eat mango, Alfonso mango from India during the winter here. They bring it here on an airplane. Very quick. You can put it in your freezer and you can eat it throughout the year. But it's not fresh anymore. It's not organic anymore. Before they didn't have a refrigerator. Because they only ate what food was seasonal food. It's more healthy. You drink orange juice? Oh, orange juice from Australia. After you squeeze the orange, after 10 minutes, the goodness, the orange is gone. You're only drinking sugar water, yellow color, and peeps. Hey. I was in a Gurukul also. Very, very disciplined. You guys are just having your fun. I went to Gurukul when I first joined Hare Krishna temple, 1973. Straight away into Gurukul. At the age of 6. And they had an ashram for Matajis. They call it Brahmacharini ashram. We have a Brahmacharini ashram here. 2 ladies living there. We had a lot of ladies. So my mother was in there. I was only 6-year-old. You want to see your mother? They said, you're brahmachari, you cannot come in here. I said, okay. They're very disciplined. We had to get up 3 in the morning. And if you didn't get up, they'd throw a bucket of water on you. Very strict. The Katiya Prasadam, so many things. So, the point is, the modern technology we have, this is not advanced. Okay, you can write. Before people used to pen to write, right? Before that, they're writing in the banana leaf, isn't it? The Goswamis, they wrote the scriptures on the leaf. Now you can save it in the computer, the technology. But people don't have any brain left because they're dependent on computer too much. People don't even know how to write because they don't use pen anymore. So we can't depend on material technology. Don't think it's advanced. In fact, it is a sign of decay. It is a sign of disadvantage. So when look at spiritual things, you can see ourselves, our body, our mind, our eyes. We have a binocular to see, we still need your eyes. You have computer, you still need your finger to punch on it. Isn't it? Japanese didn't make a computer, he could think and everything comes on the screen. That's Krishna's job. Krishna created the body. Doesn't matter how much technology that you may be advanced, that you may know the science of material civilization. Still, we need to depend on Bhagavan. We chant Hare Krishna, everything comes. People say, yeah, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, how does all this thing come? How the food will come on your table if you are sadhu? A sadhu or no sadhu? Annat bhavanti bhutani parjana anand sambhava. Krishna said, the grain, the rice, the chapati, the roti you eat is grown Because there is land and because of the yajna performance the sadhus have done. The demigods are happy. They pour down the rain. Some places there is no water because they do not recognize God. Just like if you don't pay your bill, they'll turn off your water. Isn't it? They send you a big bill. He didn't pay the bill. So, we have to recognize the real owner is Krishna and serve Him. Serve Krishna. Chant His name. Hare Nama. This is the only way. If you don't do Hare Nama, if you think, oh, this is Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, where's the food will come? You can eat this much food. But if your digestion is not working, there's no fire in your stomach, you can digest 1 grain of rice. So Krishna is the creator of the ultimate essence, the resources the body require. Our body needs air to breathe. Doesn't matter how rich you are or poor you are. Everybody needs air. Isn't it? Everybody needs air to breathe. Everybody needs water to drink. If we didn't give you water all day, 2 days, 3 days, you go on a hunger, water fast. By evening you are thirsty. We're dependent on water. We're dependent on sunlight, moonlight. You take a chapati, put on the roof, and try to eat that, no flavor. It is abstract from the sun. But yet the sun gives flavor to the vegetables, the moon. But we think, I'm the creator. I'm bringing the money. I'm the boss. Fine. You can't eat 1 grain of rice if fire in the stomach is not working. So the reason why I'm saying this, because to prove that Krishna is the maintainer and the creator. He's the source of everything. And that we are dependent on Him. We're not doing Hare Krishna, Hare Ram for nothing. We understand our position as eternal servant of Krishna. Jiver Sharupaya Krishna Nitadas. We're eternal servant of Krishna. So, don't tell me I'm a servant. I want to be servant my dog, not Krishna. We're Krishna's servant. Servant of the Vaishnavas. Servant of the devotees. Servant of my spiritual master. Because Krishna, Prabhupada, the spiritual master, showing us the path. This world we are living in. Dukkhalayama sasatam is a place of misery. Birth and death and old age and disease. Doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has to suffer. That's why an intelligent person, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, they inquire into the truth of life. Why am I suffering? Why am I here? They want to know more, researching. That is the real truth. The truth is not, Rasta kidhar hai, where's the restaurant? So I can go and have my khana. The truth is, Athato Brahma, the real truth, absolute truth. Truth about God. How I can return to Him. Vaikuntha, where there's no anxiety. Spiritual world. This world we're living in is full of anxiety. So I want to go to a place where there's no anxiety. And then the way to go there, there's a process. That is Bhakti Yoga. That's why we have to study the books. We have to know who Krishna is. No, don't tell me, I don't want to know Krishna. What do you want to know? About this world? Everything is connected to Krishna. Material or spiritual, everything comes from Him. So Krishna didn't create the suffering. We create the suffering because we messed up this world. Like I said before, 30, 40, 50 years ago, you can drink water from the river. You didn't have to have a bottle of water. You can breathe the fresh air because the air is clean. It's not God's fault. He created everything perfect. but he had to take action. There is miscreants. Dushkritanam, miscreants. Like in this temple room. Everyone is good. You go outside, maybe somebody breaking your house right now. Miscreants. So they have a prison. They didn't make prison for nothing. Because they are bad people. They need to go to the prison. So this material world is a prison house. Krishna created it. It's not Krishna's fault. We wanted to come here. We break in the house. We defy God. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. That's why Krishna says, I come to this world whenever there's a decline in religion, rise of irreligion, I come to establish the dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I come again and again. It's not that God is in Vaikuntha and Golok Vrindavan playing the flute, enjoying. He's thinking of us. That's why He comes as Jesus. He comes as Buddha to take us back. And we are thinking, no, I don't need it. I'm happy with my life, my job. Everything can be gone in a second. Poof! All smashed. Like they had an earthquake. Taiwan, somewhere else. Like I said, how long does it take? Less than a second. Less than a minute. Material nature is so powerful. We have to hold on to the lotus feet of Krishna. Hold on tightly the feet of our spiritual master, of the holy name, of Krishna's name. Chant Hare Krishna sincerely, calling out for the name of Krishna, deeply from within the heart, with tears in eyes, and desperancy, as urgency. Because material world, jivana vala jala, jivana talamala. Material world is like water on leaf, is tottering. There's no balance. It all can be gone in a second. That's why Krishna is mentioned in this verse. Material civilization doesn't help us. Only help us materially. You take a car, get from the temple to your home. But if you didn't have air in your body, you couldn't press your feet, the accelerator. If you didn't have eyes, you couldn't see. So Krishna is giving us the essential energy in our body. It's not that we are doing everything ha ha ha. It's a very serious, human life is a serious. Manushya Janma, human life, is a very important life. You can just waste it. Every day, waste. You can all remember, one time when you were 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, now you're 50, 60, 70. Time is clicking away. So, Pagga, we have to remember Bhagavan. Human life is meant to serve Krishna. That is the real purpose of our being here. Everything else is just secondary. The real purpose is to cultivate dharma, love for God. Everything else we are doing here is to assist that. How I can become a better devotee of Krishna. How I can become a better devotee of my spiritual master. How I can aspire and research for Krishna. Not simply just brush everything off. When the tsunami comes, when the earthquake comes, when the tornado comes, when the house burned down from the bushfire, we don't know, this thing just comes. That's why we have to take the spiritual life very seriously. But we are being tested by Maya, material energy. Material energy is testing us. Oh, you love Krishna, you love me so much. We are attracted to material enjoyment. There is no enjoyment in this world. Punascharvita charvananam. Here you all from India, you know. When they're making the sugarcane juice, the guy will get every drop out of the sugarcane because he needs to make his money. And then they throw the sugarcane on the floor. Nothing left, no juice is there. And the cow comes around and he starts chewing on it. We're like that. We're trying to squeeze happiness from this material world, Maya. There's no happiness. You have to come here, pay so much money, go to the university, work so hard to make a living, to live here, to build your home. There's very little enjoyment. So try to see that Krishna, He is the source. Devotee, when he does things, it's effortless. Chant Hare Krishna only. It's so easy. Just sit in the temple, chant Hare Krishna. Do service for Bhagavan, for Krishna. Eat prasadam offered to Krishna, prasadam. It's so simple and it's so blissful, so enjoyable because it's connected to Krishna. When you separate yourself from Krishna, like a child, they leave home, oh, I can do it. It's a very precarious situation. It's a very dangerous situation. He doesn't have the protection anymore. Like Sita Devi was in the ring of fire. She stepped out of the fire. And she was caught by a demon Ravana. So we have the protection of Krishna. We want to be protected from Krishna, we have to be taking shelter of Krishna. We have to chant His name, Hare Krishna mantra. We have to do sadhu sangha, associate with devotees. These are our protection. There is no protection in this world. It's a very precarious place, this world we're living in. Worse and worse. There's predictions there in the Bhagavatam. And we say, oh, Bhagavan, He is God, why He made the suffering? He didn't make the suffering. We created the suffering. In fact, He's created the process. He gave us the process by which we can come out of all this suffering. We choose to remain unhappy. So how are you? You don't want to smile because you can't. You don't have the happiness. Your heart is full of rock. We have to soften our heart by chanting Hare Krishna. If you want fruit from a tree, you have to water every day, regularly. Put it in the sun, and the fruit tree grows in the sun, and regular watering, the fruit comes. So you want the fruit of devotion to Krishna. Sadhu Sangha, every day associate devotees, come to the temple, chant Hare Krishna in your home, make your home a temple. Nothing is yours. Even your children, king or a queen, we all have to leave behind everything. Your diamond helmet, you have to leave it here, inside the dirt. Most important thing that we pay attention to is our own body. If you didn't have a body, you have nothing to enjoy. But this body is a gift from Krishna. You have a nose, you can smell. Eyes, you can see. You have hair growing, maybe no hair. We value it so much. Every hair in your head. You don't have a factory, you grow that. Krishna created it. He's the creator. That's why He said, He's not kidding. He said, I'm the creator. Sijam, this word Sijam, creator. His verse, Sijam. Sijam means create. What can you create? Hey, a dhoti, sari, or in a factory. You eat, you have a big belly, that's all. To make the belly go down, you have to work hard. So what do you create? Only problems. Our hair grow yellow, not yellow, white. We don't have we can color it. We can't stop the suffering. We create misery only. Like a bird in the cage. Tack, 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 tack. The bird is very happy in the cage. They open the door and want to go back in again. That's us. Krishna is telling us, there's another world. Aparayam mitastanyam prakite vidime param. There's another nature, spiritual nature. Come to that nature. Come to me. No, I like it here. I like my little cage in Melbourne. Big house, big or small. Compared to the universe, your house is nothing. Like I said before, on the elephant, we are tiny. Mountains, rivers, so big. We're just so tiny. Yet, I'm the CEO. You can sleep in your money. If you have cancer, all that's going to be waste. So we have to see the realities. The reality is that material world is a place of misery. Dukkhalaya asasatam. That's why time and time again, Narada Muni is telling King Chitraketu, who was an illusion, a king with thousands of wives, he was not happy. Narada Muni, he travels. That's what sannyasis do. Great sages, they travel and they preach the glories of Bhagavan. Tell us, come out of this network of ignorance, like a web. You see the mosquitoes and the spiders, they have a web. Why do they make a web? Because they catch flies. So we are in the network web of Maya. We're stuck here. But we think, I'm very happy here. Sadhus, they come to tell us, get out of this. You have a short time here. That's why I have this Hare Krishna temple. So you can come, listen to this knowledge from us. Associate with our devotees. This way we can come out of this ignorance. We're not having this regularly because we are doing it to teach you and us. Temple is not only for khane ke liye, just prasad, is to also fill our mind and consciousness with knowledge. Atmagyan, spiritual knowledge, topics of the soul. Feed your soul with the holy name, with knowledge. You can fill up your belly, but again you're hungry. Again you're thirsty. We have to eat again, isn't it? But when you chant Hare Krishna, it's so satisfying. It satisfies the soul. There's no amount of food you can eat to satisfy the soul. Only the holy name, this knowledge, sadhu sangha, associate devotees, seeing the beautiful form of Radha Krishna, taking shelter of Prabhupada. This can satisfy the soul. The body only is body. It only makes the body happy with gross things, material things. Spiritual things is sukha, is spiritual. You can eat food, then you can get sick. But no matter how much Hare Krishna you do, it will only make you happy. Because that happiness is spiritual happiness. Enjoyment in this world ends with misery because there's no balance. It's full of suffering. You can eat a lot of food, or you overwork. Okay, you make more money, but then you're sick. So many issues. But if you sit down and chant Hare Krishna, no amount how long you sit, chant Hare Krishna, there's no problem. Because that's what it does. Spiritual things only increase happiness. The spiritual happiness is beyond this material atmosphere, material hemisphere. It's a spiritual. This holy name, Hare Krishna mantra, has descended from spiritual world. Hare Namayava Kevalam. It's the only way. So this is why we from India, those who are from India especially, we are born in this knowledge. So I'm telling you this, samajh gaya. I know what you're saying. Because we are born in this knowledge. Once you're a devotee, no matter how hard you try to imitate, to be a materialist, it's not going to be the same because you are a devotee. We are a Krishna, sometimes we want to become like everybody else, have a job, live. We can't because we are devotee in our heart. So that is our real position, our constitution. Our constitution is Jive Swarupai Nitya Krishna Das. We are eternal servant of Krishna. Try not to forget that. So that's why we have this Bhagavatam topic. We can discuss more and talk more to enliven ourselves. Okay, any questions?
You said that it doesn't matter how long you sit and do the mantra. I do a mantra while cooking and gardening or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that also okay? Or
Yeah.
sit to do mantra?
Yeah, we need to chant Hare Krishna always while you're cooking. as long as you don't burn your sabji while you're chanting, and put too much salt. So,
Without the mala,
huh.
if inside, all the
Yeah. So the mala is there because we need to keep count. But it's not always the mala. It's how you're thinking. So you have a big fancy mala made from India, big beads. I'm just saying, some of us have it. But their mind is somewhere else. Hare Krishna, Hare Khana Kabhi Hoga. Their mind is somewhere. So it's not always depending on the beads. Beads is there, so it's the quality of chanting. It's the sound of the name. How you're focusing your mind on the mantra. Each mantra, so you chant and each beads, 108 beads. So that's there for so you can count nicely. So it's not always the beads, it's the mantra how you chant it. So now if you can chant while you're cooking or cleaning also. But if you want to do 16 rounds like we do, or 5 rounds, whatever, it's good to do a quality rounds. We see it in the temples. That's why every day we have a program in the temple where we have 2 hours we chant. So quality japa, like slow 16 rounds. And then if you are just doing the day comes, we go to work, we don't have time to chant nicely. So that's why in the morning we have a set time where we can chant nicely. So now after that, you say, solo mala ho gaya. I chanted my you put the beads, but you can chant always.
after set time, after that also, the time
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
any work or something in the mind.
Yeah, sure. Like we are here, I'm giving the talk, maybe someone may be thinking, this talk is not for me, or they're thinking of something. So the mind is always dwelling on certain objects, even when you're chanting. So that's why we have to focus the mind on the mantra. So you can do so many rounds, 25 rounds, 30 rounds, but more important thing is the quality of chanting. So if you can think of Krishna when you're chanting, that's good. But the idea is to focus the mind on mantra, the holy name. Because Kali Kale Nam Rupa Krishna Avatar, Krishna says, he's there in the name. See, you are searching with Krishna in the name. So like if I call your name, I'm somewhere else, you can't hear me. But Krishna is there in the name, he's everywhere. So that's why we are meant to chant always. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Krishna says, always think of me, chant my names.
Sometimes I really do have to do that, like automatic things.
Yeah. You can, that's why it's difficult for mind to always think of Krishna because mind is going somewhere else. So to abhyasa, you have to practice. That's why you can come here, be with us, we'll advise you, you can associate. Because when you're chanting with us, it's easier because everyone else is doing.
If we do at home for
Yeah.
after that also.
You can do it at home, you can make your home a temple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I come here also.
Yeah. Anybody else? Another question? Now, I give the Bhagavatam class doesn't mean I'm here to entertain you. We speak the truth. I'm here to speak about Krishna. So you go to your tent and all these things. Yeah, so if I didn't make you laugh, it's not my fault. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.